Hello friends, today we're going to talk about how to purge things. I know we talk about decluttering and that we need 3 containers, one for giveaway, one for throwaway, one for put away. But how do we get rid of those things that really we need to purge from our life? But it's so difficult because there are 3 reasons that we keep things. Memories, cost, or the fact that we've just had it so long. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about purging things that have memories attached to them. Memories attached to things are very difficult for you. That's why I can go in your house and I can take anything or any mess and declutter it because there's nothing personal about it. I have no memory attached to it. I don't know how long it's been there. I don't know how much it cost. It's just a thing. I get to see it for what it really is. When we put on our emotional glasses, we don't see it for what it really is. We have all these feelings attached to these things, these inanimate objects. So I want you to know, number 1, that if it came from a deceased relative, a dear loved one, I want you to know that that thing is not your loved one. It is not your loved one's essence. It is a thing once owned by your loved one. It doesn't even mean that they loved that thing. They used that thing. You may know different. You may know that differently. You may know that they did love that thing or they did use that thing, but I want you to know it's just a thing. We come into the world without things and we leave the world without things because things aren't us. Our soul is not attached to those things. So I want you to know that mentally and emotionally, that these things are just things. They make them every day. Maybe they don't make that particular item every day. Maybe that's an antique, but things are made every day for our use. Our use is that we find them entertaining or beautiful or useful. So at some point, your loved one may have thought this thing was one of those 3 things. It doesn't mean that it still is, especially useful. Most of the things that were our antiques are just display items. They're not useful anymore. They were useful at one time. We have some antiques in this home that are like that. And if you want them and you find them beautiful and you want to display them, great. But if you want to display every single thing you have, then you're not going to be able to see anything on display. Just know that. Okay, so the idea is that we want some surfaces that are cleared, and then we want to put an item on there that we want to highlight. Then we'll be able to enjoy looking at that thing and enjoy the way it looks in that room. So if you have something that you really want to display, then think about where it's going to be displayed and how often you're going to display it. So we're going to get off of the antique thing right now. We're just going to go with something simple like a vase. A beautiful vase that you found in the back of the cupboard and you say, oh, I love this vase. I bought this vase when I was 19 years old. I saved up my money. I thought it was so beautiful and I had it for my first apartment and it's still beautiful. But it's been hiding in this cabinet for 6 years, maybe longer. I'm going to take this vase and I'm going to put it on the sideboard. And it's so beautiful. It's painted with roses and it's white ceramic and it's just a beautiful, or china, it's a beautiful vase. And I'm going to put it on the mantelpiece or on the sideboard or whatever it is in the spring. That's going to be a perfect time for this. So I'm going to put this with my spring decorations. Yes, spring decorations. Can you imagine? You decorate for Christmas, you decorate for Halloween, you decorate for Thanksgiving, you decorate for summer, you decorate for winter, you decorate for spring, and you decorate for fall. Different kinds of things. You move some things out and you put some things in and some things remain constant. So this can be in your spring decorations. So you need a container to keep your spring decorations. And you're going to constantly update those spring decorations. When you pull them out and you put them out, if you don't love something anymore, then give it away. Someone else would love to have it. And maybe you find something else at Home Goods or somewhere that you say, oh, this would be perfect. Then when you bring it in, what's going to go out? We have to be able to purge. We can't keep saving all this stuff and just shoving it into cabinets. So we're going to purge, get rid of it. We're going to give it away. We're going to put an emotional bow on it and gift someone with it, okay? By giving it away. All right, now, I just want to have a little caveat there on giving away. Please don't gift your relative who will take everything from you that you give them, and you know that they can't do anything but stick it in a cabinet or put it amongst all their other millions of things. You are adding to their pain. Just don't even mention it to them. It's just better to give it away, like Goodwill, than it is to burden someone else with your stuff. Now, you know the difference between burdening someone and gifting someone. So think about that before you say, oh, my sister will take it. She takes everything. Maybe not so good if your sister's home is overwhelming. Okay? All right. Next is we're going to talk about, so we've talked about emotional things, and that would be an emotional thing as well, something you bought when you were 19 and now you're my age, for example, 67 or 45 or 32. You look back and it's emotional. Or you're going through your children's toys and it's emotional. This is your baby and now your baby's big and these are their baby toys and they grew so fast and it's the last baby you're gonna have or whatever. And you have to get rid of the baby toys. You don't have to get rid of them. You can save a couple to put in the memory box, right? You can take pictures of them, but you don't need to keep every single toy your baby got. And I know that you remember, oh, this cute little giraffe, it was just all the rage, and I got it for my shower from my friend, and it was just on top of the present as an extra gift, and it was so cute, and I just love it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Everything is given to you, and it's yours, and now you can use it as you wish and give it away as you wish. Some little baby doesn't have a giraffe, and its mommy doesn't have a baby shower, and maybe she would love to have this little giraffe for her baby. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to just give things away. They're just things. Your baby doesn't want that anymore. Your baby's a big girl now or a big boy now, and they don't play with that anymore. Okay, so you have to move along, move ahead. So the emotional part is attached to your memories. Other things are memories of vacations where you bought things, and that's when you and your husband were having such a great time and you didn't have kids yet, and it was in the romance, you know, the initial romance stage or whatever. You know, just, it's a thing. Just let it go. This is where you live now. You don't live in the past. We live in today. So purge those things to enjoy today, because remember, the whole focus is that we're streamlining. We're getting rid of things that don't belong in our home. We're streamlining so that we have room to breathe. I'm going to give you, if you're new, you may have never heard me say this before, but think about open spaces. When you go on vacation and you come in with your suitcase and you open up the door to your beautiful hotel room, and the room is just perfectly appointed, or even on a business trip, it's perfectly appointed. You open the door and you go, so nice, so nice. Then you get in there, maybe you get in there with your family and everybody's unpacking their suitcases and their stuff everywhere, and it's like, oh, let's get out of here. And then you go and you look at the place that you're vacationing. So let's say it's the seashore, the ocean, or the beach. You go there and you look and you stand and you feel the breeze on your face and you can see the horizon for as far as you can see, and it's open space, and you go, or you go up to the top of a mountain, and the side of the mountain, you're standing there and you're looking over the beautiful valley and the mountains in the distance and the beautiful colors of green, all the pretty colors, and you go, and when you go, which is a breath, it's a release of anxiety. Anxiety tightens you up in here. And one of the ways to relieve anxiety is to take deep breaths, but you naturally take a deep breath when you're in an open space. So if you're feeling anxiety in your home, it's because you don't have any open spaces. So streamlining means putting things in the areas they go, in the shelves, in the bookshelves, in the cabinets, in the drawers where they go, things that are stored that you're not using at the moment, and enjoying this open space with your family and having an enrichment time with your family. So if you do want to play Monopoly, you know where the Monopoly game is. It's on the shelf in the closet, and you get it down and you play Monopoly. When you're done playing Monopoly, even if you don't finish the game, oh, I'm done, I can't play this anymore. Okay, put the game away and put it up. If you're saving it because you're hungry, you're going to go eat dinner and you're going to come back to it, or the family's going to come back tomorrow and finish the game, okay, that's an exception. But generally, you want to put it away. Another exception is a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, but an exception is not the craft you're working on. You have to put your craft away and come back to it later, because here's why. In a craft room, if you have a craft and you're working on it, you've taken it out, you're working on it. I'm just going to use crochet for example. You've got your crochet needle, you've got your pattern book, you've got your beautiful yarns, and you're crocheting away, and then, oh, it's time to put it away. You've got to make dinner. So I want you to take it and fold it up nicely and put it in a big container of some sort. If it's a big blanket, if it's little, it could be a Ziploc bag, it doesn't matter. It just needs to be in a container and back on the shelf or wherever it is you store your crafts, so that when you get the urge to finish your blanket, you go back in and pull that out. Here's the thing that people say, oh, I won't remember to finish it. It needs to be out so I'll remember. Well, is that really true? How many things have you left out in your craft room? How many different things? Because we don't always want to do the same thing. And why is your craft room in the shape it's in? Because you don't put things away when you're done. If you want to crochet a blanket, and it's something that, or a shawl or whatever it is you're making, and it's something you want to work on and maybe give it as a gift, or you need it by a certain time of year, then put it in your planner, crochet. So that when you look at your planner, you can say, oh yeah, this afternoon I get to crochet, yay. Oh, I'm on that beautiful blue color, yay, right? And you can go do it, or beadwork, or whatever it is you're doing, you put it in your planner so you don't forget. That's where you're looking, that's your guide, that's your tool. Instead of having junk all over your house, which is what it turns into, clutter. It's not just your beautiful craft, it's now clutter. So we want to put that in a container and put it away so that we can pull it back out and everything that we need for it is right there. Okay, so how do you purge your crafts? You go in and you say, have I done this craft in the last 3 years? If you have not, even if it's a half-finished blanket, get rid of it. You can uncrochet it and save the yarn if that's something you really love and you want to use that yarn again, but mostly, and I'm a crocheter, you get rid of it. If you haven't worked on something in 3 years, it's very unlikely that you're going to finish it. Get rid of it, okay? And put all the rest of your crafts in containers and in Ziploc bags, big Ziploc bags, 2-gallon Ziploc bags if you need to. Label it. Put the date on it that you started it. Okay, that's a good trick too. And that'll help you purge your crafts. And you'll be so much more streamlined in your craft room. You're going to enjoy it more. It's not going to be the weight of all that stuff where you can't breathe. It's an open space where you can go and you can get your crochet out. Maybe you don't crochet in that room, but you know that's where you keep it. And that's where it goes back at the end of the day when you're done with it. Okay, so these are some little tricks on how to purge. So first of all, your relatives aren't in the things that you inherited. They're just their things. And I'm going to guess that if you have some things from relatives that you inherited and you feel guilty because you don't even like it, so you just keep it in case Aunt Martha comes, Aunt Martha comes over and sees you don't have Uncle Ben's carved duck out, you can grab it and put it out. That's not why we receive gifts and things. If Aunt Martha wants that carved duck so badly, then you can say, you know what, Aunt Martha? Uncle Ben's duck is so cool, and I can't believe he did this, but honestly, I just don't have a place for it in my home, and it doesn't go with my decor, and I loved Uncle Ben, and I have a great picture of him with me. Look at it. Isn't this great? So if you want to, I'm going to give you this back, okay? And you can have it, and you can enjoy it. All right? All right, that's it. So we've talked about inherited things. We've talked about crafty things, okay, now let's talk about things that you bought that are so expensive. Oh my goodness. I'm opening up my closet and here's this coat. And this coat is so beautiful. And it was so expensive and it looked so good on when I weighed 50 pounds less. But I can't get my little toe in it right now. And it's 20 years old. So even if I did get down to that size, can't even see a place that I would wear it anymore. So I want you to let it go. Let it go. That money was spent long ago. We spend money every day. We throw money away every day. You didn't throw money away. When you bought that, you loved it, you used it, you enjoyed it, but then something happened and you went through a season and you couldn't fit in it anymore and it just hung in your closet and there it is. And there's someone who wants that coat. There's someone who would enjoy that coat, has a perfect place to wear that coat or those pants or those shoes or that purse or those sheets or that tablecloth or whatever it is you have. If you're not using it, you don't need it, you don't enjoy it or love it, it needs to go. Because you can have closets filled with clothes that don't fit you. They're too small or too big. And if you think you're going to lose weight and fit in it, if it's the next size down or 2 sizes down, keep it. If you're on a program right now to lose weight and you have something that's 2 sizes too small, that's 20 pounds, then keep it. If it's less than that, then get rid of it. Because the truth is, having lost weight many times, I've discovered that those things that I've saved, when I finally do fit in them, they don't fit me the same way anymore. They don't look the same way on me. They're out of style. I don't like the color anymore. I don't like the feel of it on my body. It's so much better to give it away to somebody who it's going to be perfect for. Okay? So I hope this was helping you today in purging and changing your mindset, because it's all up here and in here. It's really nothing to do with reality. In reality, like I said, any third person could come into your house and say, are you using this? What's this for? Do you love this? And if those are the only, and all you could say is yes and no, and you couldn't give the story, then that person can go through and get rid of everything for you, and you would have exactly what you need, love, and use in your home. So stop with the backstory and start being realistic about the space that you need to streamline and the open space you're trying to create to give you that release from all the anxiety that you're creating in yourself. That's it for today. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope you always remember that you're beautiful. So be beautiful.